What if I told you that you don't need to day trade, make risky trades, or need a huge account to target $500 or more every single week in weekly income? In this video, I'm going to break down a simple, repeatable option strategy that you can use to generate income from QQQ, which is an ETF that tracks the NASDAQ 100 index. I'll show you the exact setup, why QQQ is perfect for this option strategy, how I take profits and manage risk when the trade goes against me instead of panicking. So if your goal is consistent income through defined risk trades, you're going to love this video. Hi, my name is Gautam, and on this channel, I talk about the stock market and achieving financial freedom with the power of options trading. So if you're someone who wants to build consistent income and take control of your financial future, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends and family. Also, if you are new to the options world or are simply looking to fast track your learning and avoid costly mistakes, click on the first link in the description below for one-on-one coaching with me or to join my Discord community, The Launchpad. And just a quick disclaimer before we get started that this video is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. I'm simply showing you my trades and how I trade, and I'm not a licensed financial advisor. With that said, let's jump in and get started. So first, let's talk about QQQ. So QQQ is an ETF or an exchange traded fund that tracks the NASDAQ 100 index. And for those not familiar with the NASDAQ 100 index, the NASDAQ 100 index is heavily focused on the tech sector. About 55% of the fund is composed of stocks related to the tech sector. And then after that, we have about 13% related to the consumer cyclical sector, about 4% with the consumer defensive sector, just about 1.3% from the utility sector. We have 16% coming in from the communication services sector, about 4.82% coming from healthcare. We have about 3.06% of the fund dedicated to industrials and just about 1% to basic materials. And so as you can see from the breakdown, the technology sector is the dominant force here in the NASDAQ 100. And then if you see the top 10 holdings of the QQQ, you're going to see some names that you're familiar with, especially if you like tech stocks and the AI sector. So we have NVIDIA leading the pack with almost a 9.2% of the fund. Then we have Apple, Microsoft, Broadcom, Amazon, Tesla, Google, Meta, and Palantir. So let's talk about why I like QQQ. Now, besides the fact that we have some of the big names that you're familiar with and that have been leading the stock market, I like QQQ because it has options contracts that expire daily. That means that I can trade daily options, weekly options, or monthly options as I see fit. And obviously, because it's dominated by the tech sector, the premiums are great. And I also like the fact that since we have a lot of strong names in QQQ, one bad news related to any individual stock will not make a big dent in your overall position. So those are the reasons I like QQQ. And next, let's talk about the actual strategy that we're going to utilize to make $500 or more in weekly premium utilizing the QQQ. So the strategy that we're going to utilize to make $500 or more weekly with the QQQ is called the put credit spread. Now, a put credit spread is also known as a bull put spread and is considered a bullish option strategy where you would sell a put option and you also buy another put option with a lower strike price on the same underlying asset, which is our stock or ETF, QQQ in this case, and the same expiration date. Now, at the time you open your put credit spread, you will receive a premium to open your position, which is basically the income that we're looking to generate and keep by the time we close the position. So the next question is, how do you profit from a put credit spread? Well, since it's a bullish option strategy, we want the underlying stock or ETF to stay above our sold put by expiration. And if it does that, we get to pocket 100% of the premium that we collected at the time we opened our position. So why do I like put credit spreads? I like this strategy because it has clearly defined a risk and reward before I open the position. I also like the fact that I can custom build the strategy based on my risk profile and how much risk I'm willing to take. And obviously, in return, I'm compensated for the premium accordingly. So next, let's take a look at an example on QQQ. Let's assume that QQQ is currently trading at $540 and you believe that it will stay above $535 by the end of this week. In that case, you would sell the 535 put option and then you would buy the $530 put for protection and to define your risk. And in this case, since the difference between the sold put and the bought put is $5, you're going to take that $5 and multiply it by 100 because one options contract lets you control 100 shares. So based on this example, let's say that you collect $1 per contract, which is basically $100 because you would just take the 1 and multiply it by 100. So you collect $100 at the time you open this position, and then your max profit is basically the $100. Now our max loss is going to be 400, which is again taking the $500 max profit and subtracting the premium that we've received at the time that we opened the position. So basically, $400 would be the max loss if the trade goes against you, and you would hit your max loss if QQQ ends the week at a strike price of $530 or lower, which is basically the put option that you bought. Now, on the flip side, if QQQ ends the week at $535 or higher, we get to pocket the entire premium that we collected at the time of opening the position, which is basically the $100. So now that you understand the mechanics of the trade and how a put credit spread works, let's go back to QQQ and see how we can put a trade together to generate $500 or more in weekly income with a put credit spread. So I have the QQQ pulled up here on Robinhood. I'm going to click on Trade QQQ Options. I'm recording this video on Thursday, December the 18th, and I'm recording this after hours. So let's pull up the options chain. Now, for this strategy, since we're looking to generate weekly income with the QQQ, I'm going to go out 1 week to next Friday. Next Friday is December the 26th. Now it says 8 days, but I'm recording this after hours, so it's technically 7 days. So as you can see, QQQ ended the day at around 6:08. So the first thing I want to do before opening a put credit spread is to look at the expected move. So to look at the expected move, because we chose the December 26, 2025 options chain, I'm going to go here to December 26, 2025. And as you can see, we have an expected move of plus minus 1129. Now for ease of calculation, I'm just going to round it off to $12. So knowing that QQQ ended the day at 608, I'm just going to take the 608 and subtract $12. Once I subtract $12 from 608, we end up with a strike price of 596. So based on the expected move, the lowest QQQ is expected to go by next Friday is $596, which is obviously $12 lower than where QQQ is trading currently. So let's build a put credit spread with this strike price. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell the 596 put option, and I'm going to open a $10 wide spread. And for that, I'm going to go to the 586 strike price and buy that put option. And for this, as you can see right here, the total credit received for building this put credit spread is $1.27. So let's assume that your goal is to collect $500 in weekly income. So in that case, you would sell 5 put credit spreads. And as you can see right here, you would collect about $664 in premium. However, I noticed that the 596 strike price is actually a delta of 22. Now, anytime I like to sell put options or even open up a put credit spread, I'd rather be safe and generate consistent income weekly or monthly than try to hit a home run and then end up with a loss. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to make this trade safer. And instead of going with the 596 strike price, I'm going to go even safer and go to the 590 strike price. And if you look at the 590 strike price, the 590 strike price is a delta of 0.1495, almost a delta of 0.15. So that means that even though the expected move was $12, I went ahead and added another $6 to that to make our trade super safe and to ensure that we actually have a high chance of this being a winning trade. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to open up a put credit spread. I'm going to click on sell put, and then I'm going to sell the 590 strike price. I'm still going to keep it as a $10 spread. So now I'm going to go down 10 strike prices to the 580 strike price, and then I'm actually going to do buy put. And as you can see right here, my premium shrunk from almost $1.30 to just 80 cents. But at the same time, I feel much more confident in my trade because now I believe that I have a higher chance of this being a winning trade. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to hit continue. And as you can see, the estimated credit right now is $83. So if our goal is to generate $500 in weekly income, instead of 5 contracts, I'm going to do 6 contracts now. And then obviously I'm loading 1 additional contract, but our overall trade is safer because we're going 6 more strike prices lower than the expected move. So I don't mind loading an additional contract, going with the lower delta and putting myself in a position where I know I have higher chances of the trade ending up in profit. You can see the estimated credit is $497, basically close to our weekly income target. And obviously you can adjust this trade any way that you like. You can open a $5 spread if you like, and basically that defines your max risk. If you go with the $5 spread, your premium is going to be less, but so will your risk. So again, based on your risk appetite and how much you're willing to risk, you should open the spread accordingly. But for me, a $10 spread is absolutely fine, considering the fact that I'm actually going with a lower delta. So if we come down here, you can see that your max loss is actually 5502. And all Robinhood's doing right here is taking the $6,000 total risk and then subtracting the premium that you're receiving. So it's subtracting the premium and showing you that your max loss for this trade is 5502. So basically, all we need for QQQ to do by next Friday is to stay above our sold put, which is $509. And in that case, we would end up keeping 100% of the premium that we collected at the time that we opened our position. And then, as you can see, the 590 strike price or higher is this green zone right here. So as long as QQQ stays over $590, that premium is for us to keep. Now, once QQQ starts drifting in this orange zone, you would start losing money. And then obviously, once it crosses below your bought put, which is a $580 strike price, then you would have a max loss. But we do not want to put ourselves in a position where we actually take the max loss. If you see for any reason QQQ getting close to your sold put, then at that time you want to exit your position, whether it's for break even or a slight loss. And that way you ensure that you're not putting yourself in a position to take the max loss. Now, generally speaking, anytime I open a put credit spread, I like to close it when I'm at a profit of 50% or higher. And basically that ensures that I'm locking in my profit in case the market reverses and starts going against me. On the flip side, as I mentioned earlier, if you see the price of the stock getting close to your sold put, then you want to exit the position right there and then. And then generally my defined rules anytime I am in a put credit spread is that I want to exit the trade when it's actually at 2x or 3x of the premium that I received at the time that I opened my position. So in this case, let's say I collected $500 at the time I opened my position. So if the trade starts going against me, then I want to exit when the trade is negative a 1,000, or 3x of 500 would be $1,500. And basically that guarantees that you're not going to get to a max loss situation. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below with your thoughts or questions. If you would like one-on-one coaching directly with me or be part of my Discord community, click on the first link in the description below and I'd love to help you out. I'll catch you in the next one.